Welcome to Meals in Moments, where I learn how to cook my guests' favourite recipe and find out why they think it's so special. Across the series, we'll be getting some great ideas from your favourite celebrities for simple and delicious meals that could be cooked up in no time. Today's guest is a man who's become accustomed to spending time in the kitchen, not only in real life but on screen as well as the longest-serving cast member of Hollyoaks. It's Nick Pickard. So you've got a good foodie background then?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I've played a chef for, what, 15 years now.
Do you find that when you're out and about that people actually think you are a chef? So people sort of, if you're out in a restaurant...
Can you cook?
Go, yeah.
Can you cook?
And people say, so, you know... So
Can you really cook?
Mate?
Yeah, it's all a bit like that, but yeah. Today I'm going to make a paella.
Lovely.
So, which is something I cook for. I run a football team. I run the Hollyoaks football team, and we have a lot of the lads round. So it's either that or curries really we go for. And as I've just come back from Spain, I thought I'd give it a whirl.
Even though some paellas are quite fiddly to make, Nick's paella with prawns, mussels and squid couldn't be simpler. I can't wait. What do we need to start with then, young man?
We're going to start with the onions and the peppers. Would you mind doing the pepper for me? Is that all right? I shall do the onion.
So can you believe you've actually been on the show for 15 years?
Well, when I went there, I never thought I'd actually be there that long. Obviously, when we started the show, it was called Team Soap. No one knew what the title was going to be. And it was only meant to be on for 26 weeks, and it went out once a week. And that was it. It was just a nice little job I got when I was 19. I never thought it was going to last that long at all, but it's good fun. It's a great show to work on, and we have a lot of laughs doing it. So
it always sort of strikes me that you're actually quite a close-knit band as well, because you always sort of see Hollyoaks characters out together.
I mean, really, you spend more time on set than you do with your partners. Do you know what I mean? Because you're there at 7:30 in the morning, and it's very long days. Sometimes 7:30, finish at night, and you're in each other's pockets all the time. So it's a really good bunch up there.
What do you need next, mate?
I need a big pan, if that's OK.
I've got a kind of...
Nope.
Paella-ish one.
Yeah, that'll do. That's perfect. Lovely.
Good.
Right, OK. So crack that one on there.
Lots has happened to you in Hollyoaks as a character. You've lost 2 kids, you've been divorced twice.
And I've had quite a lot of girlfriends. Why do you think I've been on it so long?
But do you think, though, it would be quite a bizarre life in 15 years if one human being had experienced all of those? So you're not saying it's impossible?
I think soap's just there to wash over you, isn't it? You get some actors that start analysing going, oh, that wouldn't happen to my character, and especially the new ones, and you say, listen, when you wait till you've been here a few years, you just do anything they write, you know what I mean? Otherwise, you're out. You play a chef in the series. Yeah.
What are your food preferences? What do you like in real life?
I don't know, I always like having a really nice steak when we go out, but I like foods that you can pick at, like, you know, sort of tapas or Greek mezes and things like that. Just so I like having a load of food in front of me and just taking little bits at a time off and having a meal like that, really. There you go. Will you smash me up a little bit of that, please?
Do you want it finely chopped?
Yes, please. Really finely chopped, and I shall get out the old rice.
I want to pick your brains now.
Right,
I want to question what you're about to do, because the rice you're going to use, you're using long grain rice.
Long grain rice, yeah. You've got a bit turmeric, please.
Yeah, I have actually. Yeah. In paella, traditionally you'd always use short grain rice.
Would you?
Yeah.
Right, OK. That one's always worked for me.
Yeah. I mean, it will work and it will taste it, but what happens is, if you have short grain rice, the difference being, obviously, it's just the length of the grain. Right. The short grain rice looks a bit more like risotto rice.
Right.
So then when you kind of cook with it, it will tend to go a little bit softer, a little bit more creamy, and then we'll sort of take on lots of flavour. Whereas with this, with your long grain rice, it'll tend to stay a little bit more separate. So all of your rice grains will separate out rather than kind of being quite juicy.
Oh, sorry, I remember. Can I get some stock as well?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. So do you need
about 2 1/4 pints? Is that all right?
Yeah, no problem. So outside of Hollyoaks, you've done a couple of films as well, haven't you?
I have, yeah. When I was younger, I was about 10. I got chosen to play the lead, actually, in a film. Me and Christian Bale, we went off to do it out in Russia for 3 months. So
doing a film like that, I mean, that's an incredible experience.
It was, yeah. And, well, just after that, he went on to do Empire of the Sun, and Spielberg needed someone to, go straight in with that, yeah. And we're going to leave that for 8 minutes. While we're doing that, we need... have you got a griddle to put on here?
Yeah, no problem at all.
Get that seafood ready. So I was sat there and they needed a little kid to do a part, and Spielberg came out, and because he'd seen me talking to Christian earlier, he was like, let's have, we called him Jim because that was his character name. Let's have Jim's mate. And so I got to do a little part and be directed by Spielberg, which was a great experience as well, yeah, so...
Brilliant.
Those are the days.
So, to start off Nick's seafood paella, first he heats up some sunflower oil in a large pan, then adds chopped onions, pepper, garlic and a tin of chopped tomatoes. He then adds a touch of turmeric for colour and a subtle earthy flavour. Then Nick tips in long grain rice and stirs to coat it with the juices. He then pours in the hot stock and lets the whole mixture simmer until just cooked, allowing the rice to absorb the liquid and take on the flavours. Next, it's time for the seafood, which consists of fresh prawns, squid and mussels. If you chuck all those prawns, shells and everything in there, and we're going to char them with that on, because basically what you've got in the beautiful fresh prawns like that, so much flavours in the shell. Yeah. So if you peel them, it's fine, but this way, what you'll notice as soon as you go, you'll get that delicious... You know, when you're in Spain, and there's something about that smell that really, really hits you, and you'll get so much more flavour out of it. Cool. All right, and I'll do exactly the same. We'll char this in its entirety.
Let's just give that a little bit of that while I'm here.
So what I would say is with this will take
They're going to take a few minutes, so what I'll do is I'll put these green beans
Do you want the mussels in as well, mate?
Yeah, go on and throw the mussels in there.
Lovely.
Do you know what I always find as well when you're cooking? I'm never hungry. I'm hungry, do you know what I mean? I'm less hungry than when somebody else makes me food.
Do you pick when you cook?
Yeah,
normally?
That's what I do too, and I'm always constantly trying it out just to check it's OK, so...
I think that's why chefs don't eat as well. We do the same thing. All day long you're tasting food. Yeah. And then you never really eat anything. Yeah. OK, right. This fella. OK. Onto there, like that. Now, you can do things like score the edge so it curls up, but let's keep this nice and simple for you. Things with squid, you need to do it one of two ways. Really quickly like this, or really slowly. If you try and do it somewhere in the middle, you think, oh, I'll cook it a little bit more. That's when it becomes like a rubber band. Right. So this... Brilliant. All it takes. Oh, it's got that nice bit of charring going on there. OK, and then we'll do these delicious prawns. Beautiful stuff you bought, mate. Beautiful. So, look, the squid is done. It's that simple, matey. Right. That's beautiful. Let's look at that. That's lovely.
Definitely have a go at that in the
Gorgeous. Future. Let's have a look at these fellas. You see, look, they pink up really quickly. Do you want me to cut this into rings?
Yes, please, mate.
This is lovely. OK, squid in. So what do we need to finish? We're pretty much... Are we going to just crack these in? Serve the prawns on top?
Serve the prawns on top. I might just crack a little bit of this parsley in.
Fine.
That's up. Little squeeze of that. There we go. There we are.
It's beautiful. Ready to serve?
Ready to serve? Right there.
Beautifully done, sir. Well, I'll tell you what, you've convinced me you're a real chef.
Happy with that.
Looking forward to tasting it, fella. So, for Nick's version of seafood paella, first heat up some sunflower oil in a pan, add the chopped onions and pepper, and fry until soft. Then add chopped garlic and tomatoes with a touch of turmeric, cooking for a minute. Next, tip in long grain rice into the pan and coat it with all those flavourful juices. Then pour in the stock and simmer uncovered until just cooked. Add the fresh mussels and green beans and cook until the rice is done and the mussels are open. Meanwhile, heat a griddle until really hot. Start by griddling the squid and the oiled and seasoned prawns. After a few minutes, they'll be done. Cut the squid into rings and mix them into the paella. Squeeze in a good bit of lemon juice, add chopped parsley to taste. Lastly, add the griddled prawns and serve. Well, I don't know if you're happy with the way this looks, but I am. I think it looks amazing.
It looks great, yeah, definitely.
I love Spanish food, full stop, but paella is one of my favourites. I've got to try one of these prawns. But I think the lovely thing is, because we charred the prawns, the shells smell so delicious, and they keep all the flavour in as well.
All right, that one there. Yeah, lovely.
That's delicious, isn't it?
Yep.
You've got to have that little squeeze of lemon at the end, haven't you?
Yep. That really didn't take too much time at all, did it?
This is heaven. What we need with this now is a nice glass of... Never want a beer or a nice little cheeky sparkling glass of cava.
Oh, lovely.